Hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Steven and this is WTX, very similar to that of WTF. The X, though, in parentheses, is what I'm talking about or what I'm discussing. And in this video, I'm talking about AI animation. I believe AI animation is going to be widely used amongst the film industry in the near future. I mean, looking at AI and what it's doing now, it's quite unique and it's quite fun. Using ChatGPT, I have a blast with it, from coming up with names to passwords to scripts. That's the one thing that kills me, is that it can generate a script depending on how you prompt it. It can generate a script, and you can take that. It can take that script, and if you say, "Hey, give me something that's more um, engaging, appealing, energetic, funny." Granted, I don't think it actually understands what funny is yet, but it can actually generate something that is emotionally appealing, whether that's sad and or dark. It knows that for sure. I can tell you that. Um, but if imagine taking something like that and putting it into an AI animator, an AI generator that can animate, because looking at how Stable Diffusion is able to generate images and Midjourney is able to do images, if there was a software, an AI generated software where you can prompt it to do an entire script, scene by scene by scene, frame by frame by frame, and come up with, and an animation, I think that would be wild, because I believe it would reduce what it is that companies would need. And I'm not just talking about, because I like with big projects you would need like upwards of 100 people, animators, to work on, like actual animators, right? But I'm talking like if we were to see software that was able to take care of lighting, texturing, polishing, uh, shadows, colors, all that, right? It could eliminate a good portion of the workforce that works on films. Technology is advancing all the time. I mean, I think of like The Mandalorian. To me, it's not like crazy technology, but like The Mandalorian used like green screen LEDs, right? And they took these generated images and they used them like from I can't remember what engine they used, but to create these set pieces. And imagine if we had that for an AI generated model. We could see some unique images, but not only that, some unique things that could come out. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe there's like one story out there that's, especially today's stories, there's nothing unique about them. They're just rehashed stories. The only good thing about these rehashed stories is how it's being told and who's telling them. Because the character, like, is it relatable? Are the characters appealing? Is it funny, sad? Does the story really have a plot that really moves along? It's it. There's that's how I see storytelling today. And if there are individuals out there who want to tell stories but can't do it because they don't have the technology, because they didn't go through the other classes, like me, I went through courses that taught me how to write, but coming out of it, I also wanted to learn how to draw. So it's like, why didn't I? Well, I didn't have the money for it. It's like, oh, I should take out more loans type thing. Not necessarily my thing. Not something I wanted to do. It's not something I regret, but I'm definitely trying to get into my field. And the one thing that I would think is that if there was a way for me to like produce my own product without having to rely on others, I'd do it. And I think that if there was a software out there where people could just be like, hey, take this image that I drew, and it could be a stick figure or not, and animate it for me, that'd be fantastic. But AI generators usually need a plethora of knowledge of, or not knowledge, a plethora of information in order for it to really go deep into what it is that you need. And I think about like these film companies, right? Especially like DC Studios. They can like upload comics, image after image after image after image, and it can learn what these images are, whether it's like Batman kicking, Batman punching, Batman throwing a batarang, that type of thing. Um, and of course, there's so many variations of Batman that we could potentially see a different stylized Batman. I mean, we see different stylized Batmans all the time when they come out with a brand new one or a different Superman suit. Um, and I believe that when it comes in an AI generator, we could see plethora of images from an AI generator because it has so much to work off of. Now, I know there would be some problems, especially with like artists using their work under a studio, because the thing is when an artist works for a studio, they're putting their heart and soul into it. And to be honest with you, an AI generator doesn't put their heart and soul into it. They put their generator into it. Anyways, it's something that I think about because there'd had to be some form of compensation for the artist. Doesn't matter what kind of artist, because the thing is with AI animation, this could potentially help like the CGI outlook as well, because there's a bunch of CGI that is real shoddy. I think of like um, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange, and I think of Netflix as well, especially when they canceled a bunch of their projects because they said it was too expensive. I believe film companies would jump on it if there was an advanced AI and they were able to prompt engineer something that looks not only realistic but looks visually appealing. Or, and it doesn't have to be realistic, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's 2D animation, 3D animation, it could be anything. If it's visually appealing and it's reduced the work staff and it reduces the cost and it reduces the time that a project takes for it to come out, they're going to jump on this. Again, it's not going to be anytime soon. It's definitely going to be later, but the question is when. Because there are AI animation softwares out there, but they're not like completely advanced yet. They're still cool. Don't get me wrong. They still do a lot, but like I'm thinking like all you have to do is just take a script, like take a Superman script, right? Just like here's a Superman script, throw it in there. It gives you frame by frame by frame, like what is it, 60 frames per second, like or no, 30 frames per second, and thinking of video games, 30 frames per second, and it just gives you like Batman flying or Batman fighting Apocalypse or Batman sitting at a bar with Batman, and a bunch of people around are just like, what are they doing here type thing. That'd be crazy, right? It's like they just had a hard night. Someone needed to talk. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. I mean, there's a bunch of legal stuff that I believe that AI is going to go through before it like really, really takes off. But yeah, they're like it's gonna do it. It's gonna take off later down in life in like the next like 10 years or so. Maybe sooner, maybe sooner. But anyways, thank you for coming today. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day.